Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to Let's Play Kingsfield for the Ancient City. We're gonna finish this dungeon today. We'll deal with the Guardians eventually. And first order of business is actually gonna be to come over here, then we'll deal with all of the arrow traps. Then we move on into the Ancient City itself. So we have some exciting stuff in the wings today, waiting for us. First, we got some cute little spider friends. Cute little spider friends. Aside from that one giant tarantula in above the altar of healing, pretty non-threatening spiders as far as this game goes. This whole series, genre, whole kind of shebang that FromSoft kind of kicked off with Kingsfield. Trying to think of what some of the most threatening enemy types that we've run into so far. Honestly, I think it's the fly traps or the pill bugs, which were the first two that we encountered. I mean, giant roly-polies. You can find some nightmare fuel of the real life counterparts of those online. There are giant pill bugs, and they look like some nightmare that we extracted from an alien planet. Nope. Just Earth. Just Earth here to fuck with you. Beneath one of these cots, there was a battle axe. It's gonna be a workhorse for us throughout this episode. I'm not gonna switch to it just yet because I'm not sure if it performs better versus the zombified enemies, the undead. But it's gonna have some really well-defined uses coming up. Not sure if I was close enough to that crate. Fuck it. I know there's nothing in these anyway. I'm like 99% sure that there's nothing in any of these crates, so I'm not gonna bother with them. This is the first arrow trap that we have to deactivate. And this just opens up a small little shortcut. Also gives us access to this. Oh, I thought that was the breastplate. I think we get that later. But this is a really nice looking helmet, which I believe is significantly better. No, not significantly, somewhat better. Less hit defense by 1, but more slash defense. Plus, we have to keep up with our fashion souls here, or our fashion field. King's fashion? I don't know. Not sure which one of those two I like better. Fuck you, buddy. Oh, the rapier does not stun. I did do a few things off screen, which is switch to the rapier for these enemies, because I believe the stabbing damage is good for them. It does not make them reel back, though. Gotta keep an eye out on that. The other thing I did off screen was I went into one of the rooms that we had previously visited last episode, and I found a little hidden panel in the wall that was concealing a really nice pair of greaves. So we have to cross the bridge and deactivate the next two arrow traps. That's the one in the main foyer of this dungeon. That's what's going to let us progress into the next area. So first, I think there's an herb or an antidote, one or the other. That's an herb. The antidotes have more leaves, is how I'm remembering them now. The herbs just have the 4. Real quick, I want to backtrack because I forgot something. Well, that might be the most embarrassing thing that's happened to me all playthroughs so far. Forgetting that the stairs are there. Am I gonna make it? No. No. I ate an arrow. Yeah, just forgot that there was a set of stairs that lead up here. I was looking for like a panel in the wall or some elaborate shortcut around. There's a locked engineer's door. The engineer's deer. That we cannot access for a good long while. And in here, room with more cots. And breakable barrels that are concealing a very obvious passageway. Kind of seems like maybe a game design hint from the developers that, hey, you can break these if you haven't figured that out by now, because this is the first time where it's been somewhat essential. There was that room down in the merchant's basement. Set that dog free, and we also get access to the item that you can kind of see behind the bars. But yeah, there was the chest surrounded by barrels in the merchant's basement, which gives you the same kind of hint, but this is a little bit more on the nose just in case you haven't figured that out yet. And the item that we can pick up is, I can't remember the exact name. I don't think the description of it is actually all that illuminating, but basically you can set it into the statues by the save statues, and once we pick up an item down the line in the ancient city, it allows us to warp to them. Hello, Mr. Skeleton. This is Mr. Skeletal. Thanks, Mr. Skeletal. Oh my god, that skeleton scared the shit out of me. I almost pooped my pants. Some very valuable herbal liquid and some boots that are very much inferior to the ones that I picked up in the hidden panel in the wall. Okay, so now to get back onto the main path, the critical path forward. We don't have to worry about the archer sniping at us as we run down this hallway. We've gotten just about everything that we want. But I forgot to deactivate one side of the arrow traps. So. Shit. And I'm now remembering the exact moment that I forgot to do that. When I looked down at the floor and thought, there's a little... There's that thing with the dog that I forgot to do. Ah, well. Just deactivate one, and... Well, that's... it's one way to solve that problem. I was holding down the run button while strafing sideways, and that's a poor plan. I thought I might run against the wall. Oh well, we'll just call that a little bit of speedrun tech. We saved a little bit of time, how about that? All mistakes are just speedrunning tech. It worked out in Rondo of Blood. Worked out really well, actually. There are no mistakes, just a happy little speedrun. Just a happy little 14-hour speedrun. I tried to look up a speedrun for the Ancient City, and I cannot find any. I found some for the PS1 era Kingsfield games, but... yeah, get my stun back. Yeah, no Ancient City speedruns. Maybe I will put one of those together for like Gami or Extra Life or something. I don't know, routing this could be a bit challenging. I wonder if there's some kind of just really obscure community for this. Finding all the good sequence breaks. I could use some of those. I'm happy to be doing this and showing the game off, but I'm actually not that big of a fan of it. Even for someone who's as big a fan of the slow, deliberate play of Dark Souls as I am, even I find this really dauntingly slow. So a couple sequence breaks definitely go a long way for me. I mean, the overall pacing of the critical path is not that bad. It's just the actual speed of movement. I probably harp on that quite a bit, but oh, did not watch where I was going. Okay, I need one of you to come out here. If you could come out single file, one at a time, that would be nice. That works too. The rapier's stunning them. God, the door closed right on his skull. This should be some kind of instant kill. And the room is all for naught. Like, don't get me wrong, the game has plenty of redeeming qualities. The Let's Play, though, is primarily just to kind of take a glimpse into the past at FromSoft's roots and kind of get the genesis of a lot of their ideas and inspiration. Andrew Mullinay made a really good comment, a really good analogy that this is like listening to an old demo tape for a band that you love and seeing all those rough edges, but also getting a glimpse into like where the idea for something cool came from. And that's kind of primarily how I view this LP. It's just taking a leap into the past and kind of seeing where FromSoft's roots were. And also because the game was chosen for me to LP by the winner of the grand prize raffle for a charity marathon. So there's no way I'm declining that. And there's the breastplate I was thinking of before. This, I'm pretty sure, should be better than my leather armor. So we will go ahead and put that on. Iron breastplate. +3 on slash. Yeah, it's moderately better overall. Moderately better overall. I do think that the Kingsfield series, especially Kingsfield 4 here, possess extraordinary atmosphere and some pretty high-end level design. Like, very much so above average, especially for the time period in which this came out. I thought that might be a little bit of legible scrawling on the wall. Every now and then you'll come across something like that, where you can actually read what's scribbled out. There's a golem, guardian stomping around back there. And I'm getting a shot from overhead. There is one more thing that I went ahead and did off screen, which the binding crown that I showed off last episode, I went and collected that. Which is not that bad to do, but you have to be fairly precise with your movements and your strafing and sprinting in order for the guardian that comes to life to not one-shot you. Because as soon as you take that binding crown off its obelisk, that guardian comes to life and he's kind of just right there on the other side of the wall. So you have to get away from him fairly quickly, otherwise he just punches you to death. Let's see, that bridge is broken. I think there might be a way to extend that later. Extraordinary atmosphere and a fucking phenomenal soundtrack sometimes. Which the two often go hand in hand. Music just tends to play such a large role in atmosphere building, although sometimes it's the absence of music that does it too. Which was the whole philosophy behind the lack of music in the overworld in Dark Souls and Demons. So behind this door is the ancient city. Somewhere on these obelisks you can actually read which direction and which gate you're heading towards. This whole area is constructed in like a 3-layer cake. It's very vertical, this level. And each layer of it is constructed like a vast, sprawling labyrinth. So this is about the point in the game where the level design absolutely goes wild. And they have a lot of fun and creative ideas for it. Oh. I think the archer in the other room just shot his friend in the butt through the window, and that saved me. Either that or the arrow just didn't reach far. No, it had to be the zombie body blocking it. The arrows would have definitely reached. So we have to deal with them later. This track makes me think of Gwyn, and I think it's just the composition of the piano in it. Fuck you, Archer. Oh, I'm coming for that ass now. I think there's another door, the room over on my right. There, whoops. Have to head out here first. So yeah, the ancient city is more or less this giant ziggurat. It's, Crown of the Sunken King is very reminiscent of it. I love me some ziggurats. Also, that was my bad. I thought that the battle axe would kill the archers in one hit. They tend to be a little bit more squishy. Did get a nice little level up there. I wish experience was better represented on the HUD. The slow, melancholy piano evokes all sorts of really, really strong imagery. And the tracks on this soundtrack are varied, like you wouldn't believe. We've already heard a great deal of variety in just the composition so far. From tracks that sound, you know, sometimes out of place, and sometimes that's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing. Like, we had that one track early in the game that was alien sounding, and I compared it to, like, a Metroid Prime track in the way it puts you off kilter, and I very much appreciate that. I'm not sure if the battle axe is doing it for these guys. Let's try something else real quick. Just experiment around with damage types and different weapons. Again, our three primary damage types are fuck, fucking fuck. Oh, shit. Was not prepared for how slow the swing speed on this was. There's something that I kind of love about, if you check the stats on the weapons, it shows you the length of the weapon. So you get a really good quantitative view of how far it reaches. But yeah, that Night Sword, I thought it would go from 3-shotting to 2-shotting him, but nah. Rapier? How's that thrusting damage? Or, stab. Stab, hit, and slash. Oop. Honestly, I'm preferring the rapier just because of how lightweight it is and how quickly, the stamina or the power gauge on it refills. Fuck, it kind of freezes him for a second, like there's a hit freeze, but he doesn't really stagger, which is what I'm looking for. Getting reckless with this room, and it's... Skitter away. If I could just increase the turning radius, I hate to keep harping on this like a broken record, but if I could... Fuck that room! If I could just increase that, I think it would make a world of difference. If you even kept the same control scheme, which is not great, it would just make such a difference. A quick turn or a way to do a quick 90-degree turn even? So good. Or just give me that VR Kingsfield. Because there is certainly enough good in Kingsfield, and especially with modern day FromSoft and their dark fantasy products, that I would buy Kingsfield 5 VR without a second thought. Fuck, even Kingsfield 5 with or without VR would be something I would pick up without a second thought. There is the cruelest April Fools for today, and it's a very legitimate looking Armored Core 6 teaser that I originally thought was something FromSoft put out themselves, but I think it's just a fan-made hoax for April Fools. I hate this fucking quote-unquote holiday so much. October 2016 Armored Core 6. I'm not even that big of a fan of modern day Armored Core. Like, I hated 5, but I'll still give Armored Core the time of day. Like, it could always get good again. There's always that potential. Those red barrels you don't want to mess with. Thank you for saving me. Please take this. Is there anything else you need? He gives us the bow and arrow. Some barrels have traps. I would suggest staying clear of them. Yeah, some barrels, like the ones right next to him, they will explode if you attack them. My friend killed one of those rock guardians. The bow I gave you was his old one. That's our second hint that the way to deal with the guardians, the golems, is with a bow and arrow. The other hint being the 2 arrows that you see lodged in the eyes of the first guardian you pass by. When the team traveled beyond the gate, they were attacked by undead soldiers. They spoke later about the skills they possessed. The skills of the undead. The bow's useless without arrows, blah blah blah. Okay. So at this point, now that we have the bow, and we've been collecting arrows just littered on the ground, we're gonna backtrack to the guardians. Not the guardian way back at the beginning of the dungeon, but the pair of guardians that are not too far off. So a little bit about the ancient city. The forest folk, who we've kind of heard a little bit about so far, considered this cursed ancient city to be to once be a holy land. Also, they set the guardians free at some point in the past, like the undisclosed past, which is why there are so few of them, and why there are no binding crowns on any of the obelisks except for the one. Rather, the 2, because there's also the other one that was there on the left, but they set most of the guardians free, and there are very few of them remaining. And we are going to activate both of them, taking the binding crown. Oh, I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky that I'm a high enough level now that that didn't just immediately kill me. It came close. I have to stop strafing, even though it's kind of faster sometimes than just turning all the way around with that slow turn rate. It's got me in trouble twice this episode. But yeah, despite their really intimidating size, they're not that hard to kill. Takes about 3 shots. Two to the dome, and a third anywhere should kill it. Now, the reason that we wanted to take those guardians out is because they guard a couple of key items. The first one was just guarding an earth crystal, which will teach us a really handy new spell. The other one is guarding something way more important, something crucial to progression. The Keystone. That is what it was guarding. The Keystone is what we need to insert into the pedestals on the inner part of the ziggurat in order to lower half of the drawbridge. That's the main thing that's keeping us from progressing right now, is that we don't have the drawbridges lowered. And the earth spell that we learned was a healing spell. So now, instead of expending our limited resources of healing liquids and herbs, we can instead use MP to regain health. So now, before we cap the episode off, we're going to take the Keystone that we just got from the Guardian, that was behind the Guardian, and we're going to get ourselves to the inner part of this sanctum, and we're going to lower one of the drawbridges. You can see that path is destroyed, so the only way to go is through here. And it's the poison mushroom path. Great. Let's see, I think I should be able to just cut through this room down the middle. There's even a little green slime here in case I get poisoned. Oh no, I do have to kind of deal with at least one or two of these mushrooms because of that door. And I think there's even more mushrooms behind it. This is okay though. The rapier has a nice long reach, that poke. And for our troubles, we get a little antidote. Not bad. And next to no gold. It's always amusing when you go through the effort of killing something, like especially later in games, and it's just the reward is nothing. It's fucking nothing. I think we're coming up on... what would this be? Probably a little over a fifth of the way through? 4 gold from an enemy. If I had my volume up a little bit louder, I probably would have heard the arrow knocking. Oh well. The regeneration speed on the power bar with this rapier is so refreshing. Speeds up combat nicely. That is kind of the trade-off that you make with some of the heavier weapons. You've noticed that for the past couple episodes with the Morning Star I've been rocking, it's doing a lot more damage on average, yes, but I'm getting fewer swings off. So I'm not quite sure how the DPS works out because of that. Oh, and a miss. Even though that looked like it should have connected. Depth perception is hard, especially in earlier 3D games. You don't have a lot of strong pictorial depth cues. And behind here might be... oh, it's fucking nothing again. We're gonna see that a lot of rooms with open chests that have already been looted. Again, this harkens back to, or I guess, the thing that I'm about to reference harkens back to this, Crown of the Sunken King, with all the Drakeblood Knights who had already gone through the ziggurat and just looted as much as they could have gotten their hands on. In this case, we come through the ancient city, the early parts of it, and because of that, the expedition that had already been led through here, a lot of these chests are just looted already. It's a nice touch. It's a nice little environmental storytelling touch. Ah, fuck you, mushroom! Twice! We'll burn the MP. Because I'm more willing to burn the MP because of the item that I just picked up in that room, which you'll see momentarily. I will use it once I run out of mana. And purity, Earth Heal is the thing that we learned from the Earth Crystal not too long ago. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, did we just hit the loop point in the track? Or is this actually a complete change? Oh yeah, that's totally the point where this loops. It's smooth too, it's a smooth transition. I hear something walking around. I don't think those are... yeah, I didn't think those were my footsteps. Good shit. Those mushrooms should poison him. Again, perfectly willing to burn the MP right now, because I'm gonna get it back pretty soon. What's behind us? I bet you there is another antidote in that crate. They love throwing the antidotes at you in these little offshoot side rooms whenever there are mushrooms around. Like, they want... It's such a trolly thing to do. This is a magic crystal. It raises my magic, along with restoring my MP. Oh no, again, shitty boots. I think that's just another pair of iron boots, which are, again, going to be inferior to the Knight's Greaves I picked up. Shitty boots. But yeah, it's such a trolly thing to do, to make you fight through potentially poisonous enemies to pick up a poison healing item. I mean, if you manage to avoid the poison entirely, then hey, it's just +1 to your antidotes. My gut tells me that they planned on reckless players getting poisoned. Oh shit, the goddamn harpies. They spit fireballs at you. I hate them. I hate them so much. They're the worst. Any flying enemy in Kingsfield 4 is the fucking devil. Oh, I can't stand them. Like, the bats are bad enough, and the bats aren't even... They don't throw bats at you very often, and they throw them at you in situations where the fact that they fly around really quick is not a big deal. But the harpies, open area. The wall behind me is tracking how many magic crystals and how many spells that you've learned and categorizing them by element. That wall lifts up to reveal a really cool secret once you've collected every single magic crystal in the game, which I don't honestly know if I'm going to be doing. What is that noise? Is that the harpies? I'm worried about how much damage those fireballs do. Right, that door doesn't open yet. I have means of taking them out now with the fireball and my bow and arrow, but it's not really worth killing them yet. It's not the most efficient choice. If they harass me enough, they're kind of being nice to me. If they harass me enough, I might just have to take them out. And you can't pull keystones out that have already been inserted in a pedestal to trigger the other drawbridges. So we have to keep working our way around the outside of this labyrinth. And we're going to save what's behind this door for next time. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take it easy. Have a good one.